Hello everyone. Today is going to be a little bit different than what I had originally planned because I took my chairs apart yesterday. So I thought I better do this today. That way I can get my chairs put back together. So I posted a picture of my dining room chairs yesterday, and hubby got home and I took all the seats off. So in our kitchen kind of dining area, there is no chairs. Hey Alicia. So this morning I did a test. My original plan was I was going to do kind of an ombre. Hey Tina, but that is not going to work. So I've decided to use Black and Storm. The reason that I chose those colors, first of all, is because hubby said to me yesterday, please no more teal. Because I have a lot of teal upstairs. And then I thought, well, if we're going to keep these cushions on the chairs for a while, I'd better make it neutral. That way I can still add my accent colors wherever I want in the house. So that's why I decided to use the Black and the Storm. And I think this is going to work out really well. So I'm using just drop cloth. Canvas drop cloth. I know, Alicia. I know, poor guy. Okay, so I've got my ink mat here. I pre-cut all my canvases. And I'm going to center it as best I can. Now, I measured it, and the pattern will cover most of the seat. There'll be a little bit on the outside edges, and I'm okay with that. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I want to make sure that I have enough overhang here for the seat. That looks good. Okay, you want to press your fabric down onto the ink mat. If you don't have an ink mat, a Cricut mat, or a silhouette mat, those will work too because they're sticky. Get any little pieces of lint off. And I'm going to have to take my rings off for this one. All right. So this is a two-step process with this transfer. You could do it just the way it is. But I like, oh, do you see what I just did? Okay, if you ever do this, pull it apart slowly. Don't try and rip it. There we go. So I want it to be, what do they call it? A plaid. So I'm going to do one shot with the gray and then one with the black. And I think I might do black first. The problem doing it in two colors is that you definitely have to clean your transfer in between uses. So not a big deal. You can get lots of uses out of this. So I'm going to go with black first. And I'm going to use my small squeegee. I wish I had my big angled squeegee, but I don't know where I put it. That would be a lot easier to do this. So I'm going to lay down, this is ink that I'm using. I'm going to lay down the ink. And before I do anything else, I'm actually going to tape, if I can find the beginning, I'm going to tape the edges of my transfer. Just because I don't want to go over. That is my heat press telling me it's going to turn off. So I'm just laying the placement tape down, and that will just ensure that I don't get any ink where I don't want it. So there we go. Okay, now we're going to squeegee. So just drag it all the way. I also had to make sure that I had an extra container of ink just in case, because I'm doing 10 of these. So you want to make sure you have enough for your project. So just scrape it all the way down. Make sure you cover the whole silk screen area, top to bottom. I think it's going to look really cool. I'm going to show you after what the original cushion looks like, because we're going to put one together. We are doing furniture today. I love upcycling. Do you guys? Taking something old and making it new. Love it. Now this black was already right near the end of the container, so it's not that I'm using a whole jar just for one cover. Hey, Carol. Welcome. So I actually posted on the business page for you guys to vote. And then I also posted it in a group that does decorating. And it was an overwhelming response to use this transfer. And this is the one, it's funny because hubby picked this one too, because I already have the coffee table with the modern floral. He said, no, we need to do something different. And by we, he means me. It's so funny. All right, so let's just scrape all this goodness back in the container. And then we're going to peel the transfer off, and we're going to go slow because the ink does take longer to dry. You don't want to splash ink anywhere or get the ink where you don't want it. Yes, we always means me. And I'm going to save these pieces of placement tape. Because they can be reused. And I was actually pretty good. I didn't get really any ink where I didn't want it. All right, so we got that done. Now we're going to peel the transfer off. And like I said, we're going to go slow. I'm going to pull from the center. Actually, you know what? It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad like that. But I think I need to try it with both. So I'm going to dry this quickly. You don't ever want to do layering if your first layer is not dry. That just, it creates a mess is what it does. So just hit it with a dryer. And then we're going to clean off the transfer. Just about there. And then we're going to turn this and put the transfer down on top. All right. I'm just going to put that there for now. Clean this off. And get my Lysol wipes. Hey Sam, how is baby doing? And how are you doing? This is going to take a few wipes. I'm going to actually spray it. Get most of this off with a paper towel. I need to get some more of those blue workers paper towels, mechanics paper towels. Those things are awesome. Getting there. I might have to scrape a little bit more. Get all that ink off before I clean it next time. Now don't worry if your transfer is stained. It doesn't affect the future use of it. Because the black and the red and anything with a lot of pigment in it will definitely stain. Somebody told me an easier way to do this before, and do you think I can remember? I can't remember. There's another large project I was doing. Holy moly. That was dirty. Okay, now we can flip it over and do the back side. The back side's the most important side because that's what's going back down again. That's the other thing with paper towels, you end up with lint. So I've got lint all over my transfer. The blue paper towels, you don't get that. I should just ask hubby to go and pick some up on his way home. Okay. Let's flip it over. Clean the back, and then we're going to do the gray. So we're going to use Storm. I'm going to clean this off. And of course I'm wearing a white shirt today. And working with black ink, so hopefully I don't have it all over me. All right, let's put this back down. Yes, I know. I know, it keeps beeping at me. Get this nice and clean. Get that extra fuzz off there. Little pieces of lint from the canvas. See how nice and clean it is? The front is still a little bit dirty, but it won't affect how this works out the second time. Just one more, just to be sure. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Dry this off. It's a process, but it's going to be so worth it, I think. Let's see how dry this is. So you see how I just turned this? Because now I want the pattern to go this way, and I'm going to put it on exactly the same way it was before. And it's going to overlap. Okay, it's just about dry. It's just a little bit more. Just a bit. There are some spots that are darker than others, but that's okay. That was just where I put a little bit more pressure. That feels pretty good. Now we're going to put the transfer down again. Wipe my hands. So we're going to do it the same way and try and line it up with the pattern that we already did. I want it to be straight. That looks good. And now I'm just going to smooth it out. Grab my placement tape. So this transfer is 18 by 18. Just in case you were wondering. Get that. And one more piece. There we go. Okay, now we're going to use Storm. And I'm going to grab a small squeegee again. Hey, Amy. And we're going to drop some ink down. Get that loaded on here. Then we're going to dry it, heat set it, and we're going to attach it to the cushion. And I'm just going to leave the original cushion cover on there. I don't think I need to take it off. It will be just fine because this canvas is quite thick. You're not going to be able to see it through there. So if you have lots of chairs to do, I think it's going to be like a full day project. I have 10. So I'm going to be busy. So just scrape the excess. all the way. Now, if it turns out that I don't like it, I can do it just with the pattern one way, because this is just drop cloth canvas. It was so cheap. Not like I'm using a piece of material that cost me $10 a meter or $12, $14 a meter. Actually, it'd probably be more than that. And it's customized. So you can do it in whatever colors you want. You could even do your own fabric like this. Like if you were going to do curtains or a bedspread. Make it the way you want it. I'm just putting the ink right back into the container because I can reuse it. So I'm not wasting anything, even though I put lots of ink down. Make sure you get it all. All right, I think that's it. Now we get to see what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to clean my hands off. Take the placement tape off. Actually, it's coming off with... Oh my goodness, you guys. I love it. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. Now on the camera, it looks like these couple of spots are really in your face, but they really aren't. I love it. Let's get this dry so we can heat set it. I got one little spot of ink down here, so I think I'll put that towards the back. I could try and wipe it off with a Lysol wipe, but I think I'd end up smudging it. This is going to look really, really good. You want to make sure it's really dry before you put the heat on. Get that good and dry. So this transfer is called, I believe it's called plaid. And it lines up perfectly, doing it both directions. Still a little bit wet. All right, let's put it aside for a second and clean the transfer. Hey, Deborah. We'll get the transfer cleaned. And give that just a second to dry. We can throw this out because now it's got lots of ink on it. And I'm going to clean off my hands. All right, I'm going to give it a spray. should probably have another water bottle that's not distilled water. And then I'm just going to use my squeegee to pull this off. And it actually cleans it a lot faster than if I was doing it with the Lysol wipes. So just put water on it, run your squeegee across, and it takes all that excess off. And it doesn't wreck the transfer. It's just a super effective way to clean, especially a large transfer like this. I should have done that with the black. See how nicely that's coming off? And then I'm just going to grab a paper towel and wipe that. Get all that. And then we'll use the Lysol wipe just to get the rest of that cleaned up. That's going to look so good on that cushion. Another one. Get it nice and clean. And then flip it over and do the back. And then once the back is cleaned, just let it air dry. And then you can put it back onto the backer sheet and it's ready to go for the next time you want to use it. That was much easier to clean using the water and the squeegee method. So much easier. Okay, let's flip it over. We'll clean the back. Make sure your surface is clean before you put the transfer down. And we'll just lay it down and clean that. You can see where the black wasn't quite dry yet, but it didn't affect the outcome of the pattern at all. All right, good to go. The lint is coming off, and now it's sticky again, and it's ready to be used for the next one. Okay, so my paper, my backing sheet is dirty, so I'm gonna put that back there for now. Get rid of my garbage. And I'm going to move this. And then we can get this heat set. And I'm using a towel, just because it's a little bit thicker. Move that. Still a little bit wet, so I'm going to hit it again with the dryer. I want to make sure it's dry. Thanks, Carol. Hey, Jolyn. Welcome. I'm excited to get this on the cushion. It's gonna be good. Okay. Let's get our craft mat. This is a Teflon coated craft mat. I'm going to get this heat press and I'm going to do 30 seconds on each side. So it's going to take a few passes to get this done. But then once it's heat set, it's permanent. And then what I think I should probably do is Scotch guard it, just because they're going to be sat on. I don't want to get them wrecked. And I won't be able to take them off and wash them because we're going to staple them onto the cushion. So much fun. Okay, we're halfway there. We are halfway there. We'll move this down and move the Teflon sheet. Do this top part, 30 seconds. Now, if you don't have a heat press like this or a regular heat press, you can use a household iron, 4 minutes on each side at whatever temperature that your fabric is. So this is canvas, so it would take a really high temperature. But 4 minutes. And my temperature is way off. It was set to 250 and I should have had it set to 350. So we'll just give it a little bit more here. Go over here. Hey, Kella. Living on a prayer. This is gonna look good, you guys. Can you tell I'm a little bit excited? I've wanted to recover these chairs for I don't know how long. And then it just came to me yesterday. I was like, no, I'm doing it. I got the drop cloth. I can cut it up. So exciting. Okay, so I've given it about a minute in each section. So I don't think I'm going to flip it over. All right. So there we have our fabric, inked and permanent. So let's grab, this is what the chair seats look like. You can see why I want to change them, right? So this is the back. So we're going to put that at the back. And it's going to just go corner to corner, which is awesome. So we got that. Make sure that it's even. I want it to be centered on the cushion, which I think it is. It's perfect. Now, this is the fun part. I'm not going to take any of these staples out. I am just going to do it from here, and then I'll cut the excess off after. So I'm going to put some staples in. And I can hammer those staples down after because they're not going to go right in. I should. I have my hammer here. Let's just do that. This is the noisy part of the project. Definitely noisy. All right. And I'm going to do the corners last. I find I get a nicer corner if I do that. So just pull it so that it's even. You got a nice tight fit. Didn't know you were going to be doing furniture building today, hey? Let's move that. Okay, let's get that. I probably didn't plan that one out very well. It's a little tight on the back side here. Just a little snug. Let's get these. Get another one in there. And let's do this side. Don't hit your fingers when you're hammering or stapling, because that would really suck. And you want to pull the fabric every time you go to put another one in, just to make sure you don't have any wrinkles or creases. All right, I think I'm going to do the corner that way. So I actually want to cut some of this fabric. Actually, we'll do it like that. Fill that. Cut some of that excess. that in there. This one's proving to be a little bit more finicky. And then we need another one here. I am going to cut all this excess off. This one you want to make sure that it's a nice tight corner because it's the front, so it's going to be seen. I know there's a better way to do the corners. I just know there is. I just don't know what it is. So we'll get that nice and snug. You know, the thoughts that are going through my mind right now is that I still have 9 more of these to do. Oh my goodness. Go big or go home, right? That is my motto. I never take on small projects. My family can attest to that. My mom's gonna wonder what the heck I did to her dining room table. I'm not gonna paint the table though, so that's good. You guys, I love it. Look at that. That is gonna look awesome on the chairs. This part here, it looks so dark on the camera, but really it's not that bad. So now I just need to trim off all that excess. It might have gone on just a little bit on an angle, but I think it's going to be okay. I love it. I love it so much. I know it's going to look so good when they're all done. It's going to take me a bit. Oh my goodness. Well, that was fun, hey? I'm going to have to do this a weekend project where I just do all the chair covers at once. Looks like I got a couple here that need to be tightened a little bit more. We'll hammer those down. Wonder if I should have used a nail gun. I don't know. Well, I'm going to clean this up and then I'm going to go and put it on the chair so that I can get a picture of it. And maybe what I'll do is I'll take a picture of one of the other ones that hasn't been done yet and do a side by side. It's just going to change the whole look. So I think it's going to be pretty awesome. You do want to make sure that you get enough staples in here that it's taut all the way around. Okay, there might be another staple under there. No more banging, I promise. All right. That was our quick, not so quick project. So that was one chair cover. And it took 45 minutes start to finish. So that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. And just using drop cloth canvas that we picked up at Home Depot. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy at all. All right, I'm going to go and put this on my chair and take a picture for you guys to see. I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, I've got a couple of different projects planned for this week already. So, all right, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Have a great evening. Be safe. Bye for now.